Welcome to JMO, Josh and Joe. It is Tuesday, January 3rd, and Joe, we have a very, very special guest.
Yep.
He is a father of one. He benched over 500 pounds in high school.
Gee.
He squatted over 700 pounds in high school. This guy hasn't jerked off in 2 months.
Respect.
It is my good friend and coworker, Jack Catalina Wine Mixer.
Thank you for having me, dude. It's like an honor.
How do
Yeah,
you
thanks
say?
for being here.
How do you say your last name?
It's Caminita.
Caminita?
With an M.
Caminita. Okay. So does
No, it's
any?
Catalina.
Yeah. Does
Might as
anybody
well
call
be.
you? Does anybody call you the Italian stallion?
No, dude. I used to have a fucking weird fucking fetish for wanting Italian stuff. I had an Italian sweat back in the day, man. I almost ordered the Italian stallion shit, dude. It's like you grow up in an Italian family. Everyone's obsessed with Rocky and shit. So
Right.
Yep.
I mean, you're
Touché.
a fucking stallion though. So.
I appreciate it, dude.
But yeah, dude, happy to have you on, man. Let's dive right into it, dude. I kind of hoped that we could get off on a happier note, but unfortunately, with the Bengals versus Bills game last night, I feel like we kind of have to start off with the Damar Hamlin injury.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to say just first and foremost, prayers out for Damar Hamlin. Everything we say is going to be this is just an afterthought. Like, we all obviously our main focus is on his health and safety. So, with that being said, what are they going to do about the rest of the season?
I think it came out today officially that they're not going to play that game this week.
Right.
So I'm assuming they're going to have to pull some kind of double header next week, and that both teams are going to be in a short week. That's just a guess.
So what Joe and I were thinking earlier is maybe condense 3 games into maybe a 2.5 week span. So do a Thursday game and then a Tuesday game and then another Monday game.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It would be tough. I don't know. I don't understand how they're going to be able to do this. But the fact of the matter is, a tie game it affects. They can't call it a tie game because that affects the Ravens' standings. Mm-hmm. They can't just. It's going to be hard to get rid of the game completely.
Yeah.
I'm talking about just from not even record standpoint from them. I'm talking about just a playoff seeding standpoint. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be tough to just. The NFL is in a bit of a pickle right now.
I think they are. Yeah, definitely. I think they're probably more worried about kind of PR backlash, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like they're going to catch a lot of flack for it. So I think the game, moving it and trying to figure out scheduling is almost second option right now. They're worried about how to handle this PR wave they're about to be hit with.
That is true.
They will be hit with the Twitter wave.
It seems like it's that episode of It's Always Sunny where the 24-hour clock is on, and now they're just figuring out what they're going to do PR wise, just how to handle it.
Because
we haven't heard much of any updates from anything.
No, well, I think it's because he's just in critical condition and they can't get him stabilized or I'm not a doctor. I didn't go to school for any of this, so
no.
I don't know, but that's the only thing I can imagine. I've been glued to the fucking TV all day.
Oh yeah.
And we haven't heard anything. So we hope he's okay. It'll be interesting because not only is there fantasy implications, there's the seeding implications, there's Vegas implications. There's so many things that go into this. Just what's going to happen, the outcome of this game, because I know in our league at work, I'm down by 24 points, and all I have is Josh Allen left, and he has nobody left.
Yeah.
So and I know I'm not the only person in that situation. So what do you do? Luckily for our league, we have one more week of scoring before the season ends. But what about people who ended their season this weekend?
I don't know. I guess they just roll it. That's a total ESPN NFL cohorts kind of situation to figure out. But I don't know, man. It's rough. In that league, too, I got Joe Mixon. Not it matters. I'm fighting for third at this point.
Third. But
it's all
bronze
right.
medal.
But I don't know. I have no idea. But like I said, they're probably just worried about Damar at the moment.
Yeah.
Which is rightfully so.
And honestly, too, another aspect of it, too, is that they do that spacing out for player safety anyways as far as the games go. So, I mean, when you talking about condensing 3 games into 2 weeks, that's putting kind of player safety for the other players in jeopardy. They're not going to get as much rest time as they typically do, to recover for the next game. So they're definitely, the NFL is definitely in a pickle.
Yep.
Right now.
I know, Joe, you kind of alluded to this earlier about the Bengals stadium.
Oh yeah.
So get this.
Yeah.
Get this, you tell me.
Yeah, so basically, I don't know what it is, because most of the time, like with injuries, like ACL injuries and all that, you can kind of like, there's been like kind of conspiracy theories that have been talking about how like, the turf is like what's really, bringing this on. And like, there's a good argument to be made, but like, there's been like some tragic injuries at the Cincinnati stadium, and honestly, it really has been more like, what was it? Ryan Shazier got paralyzed, or
you remember? I don't know. He's Jack's what, 22 years old. So
yeah,
like,
I'm a bit younger than you.
Yeah.
He's a bit younger, but so Ryan Shazier and the Bengal Stadium got paralyzed.
Yeah.
Ended his football career. The fact that he's walking right now is a miracle.
Yeah.
Where did he play for the Steelers?
The Steelers.
Play for the Steelers.
Okay,
Yeah,
I've never watched the game. The name did sound a little familiar to me. And then I have seen clips of the injury happen. So
yeah, he came out of Ohio State and was good linebacker.
Great linebacker.
Had a promising look to his career. It was sad to see that, but miraculous story of him how he came back and actually ended up playing a couple downs. Let's go recent times, that way you can kind of join along this one. But like Tua, that was in the Cincinnati
Dude, I was
Stadium.
talking about that last night with my buddies, man. It just kind of feels like there's a curse.
Yes.
The primetime Bengal Stadium, it feels eerie, dude.
It's weird,
feels
man.
Eerie.
It's weird, dude. And like, not only Tua, like, so we got the Damar, that's the most recent one.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then back in the day, again, we have what? Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown. That was probably the cause of like all his craziness.
Yeah,
Oh,
I really do think that was the source of where he became just a fucking crazy motherfucker. Like,
Yes, because everybody agrees that it was, it's like CTE that he's battling with, and with all of his bipolar or whatever crazy,
yeah.
naked pool swims and
The-
all that stuff,
right.
fiascos.
Naked pool. Did you see that?
I did, yeah. He still won it by the police. There was like a standoff going on outside of his house, dude. He's just trapped up in there.
So and then the Vontez Perfect hit. Like
Yeah.
these hits were just crucial, and they have put the players out of the game. They're all in Cincinnati.
So what do you do now? Like you tear down the stadium? Do you like move it to Mexico? Like
gotta-
move the team to
London,
London?
France.
Dude, it's like hallowed grounds, man. You just gotta leave it. You can't touch it. Just build a new stadium.
Go
Yes.
ground zero.
Make
just
this
burn
like
it down. And
No, that's gonna upset what's ever going on there, dude. You gotta just leave it. It's like a memorial at this point.
Just leave it. Don't touch it.
if you burn it down, it's gonna just come back and haunt whatever stadium you
Gonna
build
be worse,
next.
man.
Yeah. Oh, and just as a little side note, there, a little guy named Bo Jackson. His
Shut up.
no, okay. So it wasn't in Cincinnati, but it was against Cincinnati that he had his career-ending injury, his hip.
Fuck, man.
And then a guy named Tim Crumry against Cincinnati. So it's something about Cincinnati, man.
Goes back, man.
There's something going on with Cincinnati here. I don't know. I never heard of it being like a Transylvania type of haunted place. But
For the NFL, maybe.
it might be the Transylvania of the NFL, man. I don't know. But yeah, dude, it's just fucking wild, man. It does bring in the human element of football, and it's wild. We hope that he gets better and that everything's good. So let's segue. Let's get to college football, because this is the reason why we need a fucking 12-team playoff. Okay, did you see some of these fucking bowl games? Tulane beat USC.
Yep.
Dude, okay. Bowl game, schmoll game. I'm sorry. The only bowl game I'm watching is like Sugar and Orange. If like it's already on, like at this point in the season, dude, I'm already worried about playoffs. Like I'm worried about.
Honestly,
I'm still salty about like end of the season rankings and whatnot. Everything is a Panera Bread Bowl to me. Like I'm not watching it. I watched Tulane a little bit. and I watched Alabama a little bit, and that was about it.
Pro Bowl or Bowl Small.
Bull small.
But no, dude. They got they got teams like Tulane beating USC. Like we should have a 12-team playoff because you get these random. Do you like March Madness?
I don't like basketball, but I'll watch March Madness
Yeah.
because you get to see games like I think it was here I go again. I think it was St. Mary's last year, right? Or was it Liberty or something? They went on like a run and they were like bottom seed of March Madness, dude.
No, St. Peter's.
St. Peter's, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I don't watch basketball. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. But
Well, no, there's teams like that, like Florida Gulf Coast. They were a 14th seed that went to the final fucking four.
yeah, see, that's exciting.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm kind of hoping for with 12-team playoff. I am a little worried that regular season games are probably going to mean a tiny bit less, but you still got to be good. You still got to make that 12th seed. You still got to play your games. You still got to beat people you need to beat. So
Well, I mean, and then also you can add emphasis though too if you, depending on what they do the seeding. I know there's been talks about like everybody in the Power 5 champions, so it gets an automatic bid.
Oh, so like
And
the big conference,
the big
champions.
Power 5 conference championships all get a bid. So then that puts emphasis back on the conference championships again, because a lot of those have kind of lost its kind of relevancy because and importance because. What was it? Ohio State didn't make it to their conference championship. They made it in. Alabama's been notorious for making it into the playoff.
TCU lost their conference championship and
made it in.
Like,
Yeah.
so it doesn't fucking matter almost. It's just like what your record is and how you're doing at the time of playoffs. That's
Yeah.
essentially what it is.
Yeah.
But dude, imagine, man, you have 12 teams, you got 6 fucking games going on, and then you get people like Clemson who are just fucking the biggest frauds in college football.
Yep.
They get clobbered by Tennessee. Like, and I'm not saying Tennessee was a bad team; they were a really good team, but you get, and then like just like the LSU Purdue game. Purdue wasn't even in the fucking same league as LSU.
no.
It was not even close from the get-go.
They should have pulled a mercy rule on that point. 'Cause some of those guys at Purdue are now no longer fans of playing football. Their whole career
Just ended
has
the
been
career.
shattered. The whole Drew Brees story, going there, being able to recruit guys, dude, they don't even care. They just want to go home, settle down,
Just
play some Call of Duty,
Make
dude.
a
I don't know.
cup of hot chocolate. And
Just relax,
forget
dude.
everything. Maybe take a Xanax to go to sleep.
It's a bad loss, man.
It's bad.
Yeah.
I did want to bring up, I don't know if you watched this one, but I know Joe and I did, the Mississippi State-Illinois game because we had to talk about it because of Mike Leach. R.I.P. in peace, baby.
Big fans.
So what was it? Mississippi State didn't lead this entire game for the first 56 minutes in, what,
yeah.
20-something seconds or whatever?
I think they only led for like 30 or 40 seconds.
30 or 40 seconds. And they ended up winning by 9 in regulation.
That's wild.
It's the most Mike Leach thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Right?
It was wild. They had so Illinois tried to do the lateral, right? Mm-hmm. And they pulled the Oakland Raiders. Remember how the Oakland Raiders did that against the New England Patriots? They pulled an Oakland Raiders and they just ran it back in and won by 9 points. It was great. It was like, and then you just see the pictures of Mike Leach like in the sky with his fake mustache on. It was
Looking down. Yeah.
It's a beautiful,
Proud.
It was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful moment. But yeah, that's why I love college football, man. And and honestly, any reason for me to have more college football is always going to be an option for me. Like that's always something I'm going to support.
Yep.
You got anything else for football or for college football? We'll move on to the NFL.
I'm good.
I gotta talk about this, man. What is up with your infatuation with Jalen Hurts? Like you're
Dude,
not
oh
an
my God.
Alabama fan.
I'm like
Like-
an Alabama fan by defact. It's like
Oh,
the same way I'm an
that's-
Alabama fan. Like I'm an Eagles
That
fan.
sounds
Sorry.
bandwagonish all the way.
It is kind of bandwagon.
kills
It's like
me, man.
I'm not gonna root for them really, but like just because it's like his stomping grounds, dude, I'll watch them if like a game is on. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, he was very high on the Eagles at the beginning of the. He had some really good predictions. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. He predicted the Vikings winning the NFC North. I was very adamant about.
That's pretty good.
I was
Pretty
very
good.
adamant about the Green Bay Packers.
I would have been worried about Kirk Cousins that prediction.
Yeah, because
a good quarterback,
Kirk Cousins. Kirk
He's an
Cousins.
average quarterback.
He's a very average.
That was good.
Kirk Cousins himself every season, okay? And he's doing it right now. They're like fumbling into the playoffs, and Green Bay is just on a tear. So, yeah, sure, you might have been right about that. But he was very right about the Eagles, and I was very adamant about the Cowboys winning. So kudos to you. I think you had another prediction, or what was it? I thought you had another prediction.
I had the Saints winning the South, and that turned into a fucking shit show pretty quickly.
How much of a Saints thing is that? You beat the number one team in the nation on the day you get eliminated from the playoffs.
Well, I think this helps to my Jalen Hurts obsession. Look at that team when he's not there. Last week, sure, they put up some numbers against.
They still lost.
They played Dallas last week. Am I bugging?
Who did they play last week?
I think they played Dallas and they lost.
The Eagles.
Oh yeah, the week before they did play.
played Dallas.
It was a good match.
Yeah,
good game.
They put up some numbers against Dallas. All right, that's whatever. Shout out Gardner Minshew, playing his heart out for Mike Leach.
It's bruh.
And then they come back this week against, I don't want to say a slightly better defense because I know the Cowboys' defense is pretty good, but they're facing some real competition now and can't do it, man. Couldn't move the ball that well.
No.
So I think that helps Jalen Hurts in the MVP race. He's probably not going to win, unfortunately. Patrick Mahomes is too good, but it is the way it is.
Honestly, yeah, the two injury games is I think that's gonna be what seals the deal for Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. Honestly, I thought before this game, before the Green Bay game, I thought Jefferson probably should have gotten it. But this one kind of really hurt his status, especially since he's not a quarterback,
Yeah.
Because he would have to like go above and beyond like every single week, and unfortunately, this probably lost it for him.
I don't know. Devontae Adams kind of has a case.
He kind of does.
Did you see the one-arm grab he had? It was unreal.
He doesn't care who his quarterback is.
No, it doesn't matter. He had Jared fucking Stidham throwing him the ball, and it's insane. He's one of the best. But one thing I wanted to point out. So I think he has more of an infatuation with Philadelphia as a city, which I mean is fine. They're like one of the best worst sports town, depending on who you talk to, because they're passionate fans.
They are very passionate fans. They were booing their team last week, and they're the number one seed right now.
Yeah. And he decided, randomly to pick the Philadelphia Phillies last year as his baseball team. And so I was like, all right, that's stupid. That's very dumb. If the Phillies win the World Series, I offered to take them to Vegas on my dime.
I was right there.
I
was right fucking there, dude. I was right there.
I was sweating, Joseph. I was sweating so bad. They were in the fucking World Series. I actually thought about placing a giant bet against the Phillies or for the Phillies. So, like, if they won, I would be able to pay for his fucking trip to Vegas because, like, that was just... no one... Like, they were on, like, a 10-game losing streak when I said this. The Phillies were.
Oh, really?
Unreal.
It was bad. But why were you sweating? Because you peaked in Vegas. So, like, I feel like that's, like, your second home. Or
yeah,
like
but
your
I would have had to spend $4,000 on Jack, and then I probably would have spent, like, another $5,000 or $6,000 on me. So, like... I would have been out about like $9,000 or $10,000, dude. That's why.
I was fucking stoked. I am not a baseball guy. I'm a football guy through and through. The second I realized they got into playoffs, I was like, oh, I'm watching baseball now. Obviously, I have to.
You have to.
Because I have a Vegas trip on the line.
Exactly.
I got to care about these games. Then they go to the World Series, and I'm losing my fucking shit, dude. I'm walking around like my shit doesn't stink. And, dude, it just fell apart so quickly.
Acting like he's been watching the MLB for the last 21 years of his life.
It's funny how when you put something into it, especially like us in Louisiana have been able to recently discover with sports gambling, when you actually have stuff on the line, it doesn't matter if it's like $5 or if it's like, $10,000 or something like that. Like games that you wouldn't care about actually matter.
Yeah, it's make or break.
It's make or break.
It absolutely is. So, yeah, I think he's just got I think once he starts getting into hockey, he's probably going to be a 76ers fan. It's going to piss me off.
I think I already said, if I eventually start watching hockey, probably won't happen. But
no.
I'm just going to immediately take a 76ers.
Okay, hockey's
Flyers.
Hockey's the most slept-on sport.
I'm a baseball guy. I mean, football
Shut
guy.
Shut the fuck up. At least you're a Pelicans fan. Don't
Gotta be loyal.
Don't go over to the 76ers.
Gotta be loyal.
All right, well, whatever, dude. Oh, and I'm at the Philadelphia Flyers for the hockey fans out there.
Yeah, some people are probably screaming through the.
I said it.
I'm at the Philadelphia Flyers, but yeah, the basketball team. As long as you say a Pelicans fan, that'll be good. All right, let's go to the Packers versus Vikings. I think the Packers, Rodgers is going to the NFC Championship game, right?
Maybe, and then losing.
Yep.
Well, yeah, obviously.
And I think he's going to blame his entire team, even though in this game, you can literally watch special teams and defense carried him. I mean, it was entirely one-sided. Rodgers really didn't have to do much. He just had to not throw away the game, and that's what happened.
I think he might have barely hit 200 yards passing. Oh no, that's last week. I was still back from when we were looking it up, but yeah, dude, he did. It wasn't like he had like this stellar ass performance. Yeah, he 159 yards.
That's
passing.
not a sexy box.
No,
score.
no.
You're right. He had
That's a game manager.
Nixon had a kick return for a touchdown, and then they had a pick six.
I
forgot who got
Jair
got it.
Alexander had a pick. I don't think he had the pick six, but yeah, dude. Oh, Jair Alexander did the gritty right in Justin Jefferson.
I saw that, dude.
Dude, that's
He was
ballsy.
furious.
That's ballsy.
Furious. Oh my god.
Especially when you got a guy like Justin Jefferson who can explode right in your face.
Yeah.
And that's not even being sexual. I'm just saying he could just explode for 200 yards in one day.
But that Jair Alexander, he's so hot right now. I mean, he is hot.
He is really underrated
Dude,
cornerback.
I think he kept Tyreek Hill down the week before, and then he shut down Jefferson.
Yeah.
He's hot right now.
Jefferson won't get 2,000 yards because of him.
Yeah.
He had, I don't know how many yards he had, but I know it wasn't good. He did not have a good game, and it was
one catch, 15 yards.
That's it.
That's it. Five targets, one catch, 15 yards.
And dude, the Packers is one of those teams where like they're the ultimate. You don't want to see them in the playoffs.
Unless you're in the NFC Championship.
Unless you're in the NFC Championship.
Then that's the best team you want to see.
Yes. That's the only
That means
team.
you're going to the Super Bowl.
That's the only team you want to see in the NFC Championship game. Yeah, dude. What if it's Green Bay versus Tampa in the NFC Championship game?
I'm going to cry my eyes out, dude.
Brady's going to another Super Bowl.
Brady's gonna go to
he's
another
gonna
Super
fucking
Bowl.
find his way back into the Super
He's
Bowl.
going to snake his way after the divorce. He's got nothing, dude.
He's got nothing.
He's got nothing to lose.
It's
No.
just
This guy's rabid.
Yeah. Oh man. And he threw for like over 400 yards. He had a great game. It was absolutely. We'll get to that game in a little bit, but I did wanted to acknowledge the fact that the Packers are they. I mean, what they have the Lions next week. Yeah.
That's
All they need to do is win.
All they have
That's
to do is
it.
win.
You
There's
win this
no
game, you're in the
implication.
playoffs.
There's- It's just like the Lions. They have to win, and the Seahawks have to lose in order for the Lions to get in.
Yeah.
But all the Packers have to do is win.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
And honestly, they're on the fucking fire. So, y'all got anything else in this game?
I just think, like you were talking about a couple of weeks ago with the Bengals, man, I think that's the Packers now. They're just getting hot when they need to be. They're putting, beginning of the season, midseason behind them, all these tough losses like they usually do. And they're just getting hot at the right point. That's it.
Yep.
They're pulling the Bengals. You're right. Yeah, so the Packers beat the Vikings 41-17. So let's go to the Saints. This is, like I said earlier, this is the most Saints thing of all time. Mm-hmm. We're gonna get knocked out of the playoffs after beating the number one team. I want to say I'm surprised, but I'm not. This is just kind of like normal shit. This is
We're just immune to it at this point.
I'm shocked. I don't know what y'all are talking about. I'm shocked we won this game. I thought we were going to get steamrolled.
Well, okay, in your defense, like you're right. Okay, so like where Philadelphia was strong at during the season, obviously their QB play, but they always dominated in the trenches.
Yeah.
And we destroyed them in the trench. We had 5 sacks in the first half.
Yeah.
So like we have a good team. It's just we don't have a quarterback.
Andy fucking Dalton,
Yep.
the Red Rocket. We're trusting this guy? This is where we're at in our lives right
This
now.
is it.
See,
Well, that's why it's essential that we have to have like Taysom Hill be a vital part of our offense because we can't have Andy Dalton the entire time.
but I'm just tired
win.
of seeing the guy get the ball and then immediately run. It's
Yeah.
like
Well-
we need to at least switch it up, let him throw, let him hand the ball off, dude.
I will admit this. The last couple of weeks they have been letting him sling the ball a little bit.
Yeah.
And he
A
did.
little
He
just enough to get the defense, keep the defense honest.
Yes.
Like that, we are going to do it.
yeah.
Yeah, like because I mean he throws darts, dude. It's not like he doesn't have zip on the ball. It's not like he's not accurate. He can throw the fucking ball.
Yeah, he's got an arm.
He's just got his legs are just that lethal. So like Dennis Allen doesn't know what else to do. He just like looks at a couple of tapes from Sean Payton and is just like, ooh, let's do that one. That one worked in the past. Well, Dennis, the reason why that one worked in the past is because Sean Payton just shuffled the deck a little bit and had people guessing. Like, it wasn't like we did the same fucking thing with Taysom Hill every single time. And then people knew what to expect.
Yeah.
So that was frustrating.
Yeah.
I've
been spoiled my whole life, dude. I grew up in the Drew Brees, Sean Payton era. Even the past couple of years, dude. Like, I'm like, yo, Sean sucks. And the first year we get rid of him, I'm like, begging the man to come back. I'm like, please fix this fucking dumpster fire that's happening.
Well, did you watch the the 2012 season when he was suspended, Sean Payton?
Yeah, I mean, we weren't like great.
Yeah.
He was also like 13.
I was about to say because
11 or 12. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, well, because that's the thing. Like, I remember seeing that, and there was a real difference with that team.
Yeah.
Whenever Sean Payton was out, so I was like, that's why I was hoping that Dennis Allen would come in it and just kind of keep things going the same. But
nobody has the brain of Sean Payton.
No.
He's just a different human being. He's built different.
Thing is, dude, it's like we kept our OC, who we've had the entire time since Sean's
Pete Carmichael.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not like our playbook has entirely changed. It's just I don't think we have talent on the field. I don't think we're making the right calls. It's just personally hard to watch Andy Dalton be our quarterback.
that's what it boils down
That's what it all boils down to. It's hard. And like, I think we got good personnel. He's not, Pete Carmichael's not Sean Payton. He's not calling the right plays.
Yeah.
There's some situational football that he's not getting. Like, I can't bring up all the plays that I'm talking about, but like when you're first and goal and you throw it 3 times in a row with Andy Dalton, like, yeah, sure, there's a reason why we didn't score a touchdown there.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, maybe run the ball. That would be cool. One time.
There's a reason why Sean Payton kept him in the shadow and did not, because we never really heard much about him at all. It was all Sean Payton.
Right.
And
unless something went wrong, then it was like, Pete
fucking Pete, dude. He fucking sucks. Fucking sucks, man.
Every head coach.
He was the fall guy.
Yeah.
But honestly, he was just getting Sean Payton's coffee. That was basically what his role was.
He was an intern.
Yes. The entire time.
That's essentially what he was. But hey, last thing I have on this was a nice pick 6 for Marshawn Lattimore on his first day back, baby.
Yeah.
Read that Mitch like a book.
It felt familiar. It reminded me of a very young Tracy Porter.
Ooh. Throwing back to the 09.
It felt really
Super
good
Bowl.
to watch that happen.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean much. We're not going to the Super Bowl this year.
No.
So it's okay.
I know. It sucks. It sucks, doesn't it?
Dude. I had high hopes for this team,
Because
too. I had extremely high hopes.
At the beginning of the year, yeah.
Here's the thing. Whenever, like, Joe and I talk about this all the time, but if you give us, like, the slightest margin of hope, we're going
going all the way.
Yeah, we're going all the way.
We're going all the way.
We're going all the way.
17-0. We're going to the Super Bowl.
Like, and then, like, if you tell me there's a 4.7% chance we're going to get into the playoffs, I think there's 100% chance we're getting into the playoffs.
And not only that, make it to the Super Bowl.
Yes. Joe and I, like, somehow convinced ourselves in our mind that if the Saints made the playoffs, we were going to go to the Super Bowl.
We're going all the way.
Yeah, because we were going to beat Tom Brady, and we were going to be able to beat the Cowboys somehow, or whoever we played. And we murdered we didn't murder, but we beat the fucking Eagles. So, like, there was a distinct path in our brains to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And we were going to play Aaron Rodgers in the NFC Championship.
And just walk right into the Super Bowl. We could have put our fucking rookies in, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Just fell apart.
Yeah. So I think that's part of being passionate fans. Like being a fan is essentially it's short for fanatic. Like we are fanatics. So you give us any tiny bit of hope, we're going to take it and run with it. We're gonna plant it and make it into a beautiful fucking plant of just disappointment.
We're gonna be like, what is it, Charlie from? I always quote, It's Always Sunny." But remember the scene where he's in the mailroom and he's got like all like the pins and everything. Like,
Pepe Sylvia.
Pepe Sylvia.
Pepe Sylvia.
We're gonna like figure it out. Like this is our way into the Super Bowl if we do this, this, and this, and this. And like we're up all night, bloodshot eyes and everything. It's like just go to bed,
drinking coffee, smoking cigs.
Yep.
All right, y'all got anything else in this game?
I'm good.
All right. No. That's the worst win of all time. All right, so let's get to the Saints beat the Eagles 20-10. Let's do the Bucks versus Panthers. This is the one game we needed, and honestly, it looked good until Tom Brady got the ball. Like it was just, it sucked. And honestly, actually, all right, wait. One thing I wanted to say is shout out to everyone who had Mike Evans on their bench.
That's rough, dude. That's rough.
You
were one of those people
in our league,
dude.
He had 48.3 points.
What made you do that?
Because he sucked. He was the laziest receiver. If you look at the last 5 games, he was not trying. He was if Tom Brady threw him the ball, he wouldn't, and it was kind of out of his reach, but if he would have dove, he could have possibly gotten it. He was not even trying to get those. It wasn't even like he was making the effort to reach those balls. If it wasn't in his hands, and even if it was in his hands, you remember week 7? Week 7, he had just a dime jumped right into his bread basket, and he just fucking missed it.
Well, I was gonna say that was the revenge game because that was versus the Panthers in week 7.
Yep.
So he had to go revenge on that.
He did drop a pass.
Yes.
He did drop a
but I feel like Mike Evans is one of those guys. He's a head case type of guy. So when the highs are highs, he's rolling with it. But when the lows are lows, he's
bad.
Swoops himself down. And he just doesn't try.
He
throws a fit.
We call that hills and valleys. So you're when you're up, you're going up, you're doing well. Valleys, when you're low, you stay down there, and it's bad. You gotta get yourself out of it, and you gotta dig through the slime and the mud. It's not fun. But I was one of those people who had Mike Evans on the bench, and he really pissed me off.
Sorry about your loss.
Thanks.
Did you want me to tell you the stats? 10 catches, 207 yards, 3 touchdowns.
You didn't have to.
I wanted to a little bit.
You didn't really have to. I saw it, when it was happening. Didn't really need that, but okay. Thanks, Joe. Thanks, bud. Okay.
No problem.
So for anyone who was debating whether Tom Brady still had his arm or not, he threw a pass in this game to Mike Evans that had 57.6 air yards.
Yeah, the longest this season.
Yeah. So, I mean, Brady's got nothing else. This is it.
Yeah.
This is it. And he's on those fucking those steroids that nobody knows about, that nobody can test for, and nobody will be able to test for because he's a fucking alien. But yeah, he's just never gonna stop.
The only thing you can actually hope for is that he pairs up with Sean Payton and joins your team.
That's it.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Oh, man, I don't know. I think he's just on a fucking warpath currently. I think the divorce really just set something off, man. And he's got nothing to lose. Everyone's counting him out. He's about to go back to the playoffs. And who's he going to play? Is he going to play Kirk Cousins?
I think he's looking at playing the Cowboys right now.
Oh, wow. In Tampa?
Isn't it the...
It's going to be in Tampa.
It's going to be
because
in Tampa.
they're divisional champs.
Yeah. That's a game they win. I think so, at least. I think Sean Payton said it a couple days ago in an interview, man. He was talking about these teams who, just scrape into the playoffs, and they host the wild card game. They're 4-2.
Holy shit.
Years. They're really good. If you're hosting that wild card game and you barely make it into the playoffs, you are fighting. You are hungry.
Yep.
And I think they're going to win against the Cowboys. I really do.
Or whoever they play, because obviously, the
You
Cowboys.
heard it here first.
Well, I mean, yeah, I really do have a bad feeling that it's going to be Brady versus Rodgers in the NFC Championship somehow. I don't know if it's going to work out that way.
No, I don't think so.
But I don't know. That would be the worst case scenario for me, because then Brady would be in the Super Bowl. It is unfortunate because Brady does look like he's having fun. He actually looks like he's having a good time.
He's smiling again.
I know.
He looks young. He's healthy. He's got his healthy
that might
poop,
be
dude.
somewhat of the surgeries, but yeah, no, he does look young.
No, he's never had a surgery before in his life. What are you talking about?
Yeah, man, those cheeks just naturally rise. They naturally rise with age.
How do you become so much better? If you look at a picture of him in 2007 versus a picture of him now, he makes himself look ugly in 2007.
Yeah.
His present self makes his former self look very ugly.
Yeah, well, that's like Tom Cruise, dude.
Yep.
The Rock, man. These guys, they just age like wine.
Yeah.
And they just continue to excel at what they do.
So is Tom Brady secretly like into Scientology?
Oh,
Is that what it is?
Is that what it is?
He's on upper levels of Scientology.
I'd buy it for
Yeah,
sure.
I would too.
Yeah, I think they just don't drink alcohol. I think that's a big thing. But we'll go with the Scientology.
The Scientology makes
angle.
more sense.
It does make more sense. Scientology makes you young. They just dip you. They found Scientology found the fountain of youth, and that what they do is they just dip all of their members into it.
Well, you
And-
got to be a certain level. You got to be the highest level.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right.
You got to at least throw
You
in a
can't-
couple $1 million.
You can't
in
be
there.
like a lowly peasant
No.
in Scientology and get dipped in the fountain of youth.
that
You
doesn't
gotta-
buy the fountain of youth. No.
No, it doesn't. You got to be a multimillionaire. You got to have some type of influence over people.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, that makes sense. All right, fine.
We figured it out.
All right, cool. Fuck you, Scientology. We figured you out, bitch. The pun at the end was wild. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Did y'all see that? At the
That's
game?
what I think kind of sealed the game.
Oh, I do too. How he got that off? He just like ran off to the side, and I'm like, this dude's out of bounds. I thought he was out of bounds, and he got the fucking pun off, and it was actually like down to within the 10-yard line.
Apparently, that punter Jake Caminita, he's got 4.5 speed.
What do you mean for? Oh, so
40,
like he's
45.
fast.
Holy
he's fast.
shit.
Fast. Yeah.
He's like 4.5
Yeah.
seconds 40
Yeah.
as a
punter.
As a punter?
Well, I mean, he's got to have some leg strength, You got to be at least a little bit, athletic. And honestly, that adds another dynamic for your fake punt game.
Just let them rip, dude.
Just let him go.
Open the trenches and let them go.
I mean, because they're gonna get like a nice little, what do you call it? Like they're gonna build up some steam. I mean, they're gonna
Yeah.
by the time they get to the line of scrimmage, they've had 15 yards of just sprint.
Especially
So-
if they do a rugby style.
Yeah,
Rugby style punt, they're running.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently that's why he was able to get away from, because he was fast. He was quick getting off to the
Yeah, he was.
getting off to the side and getting that punt off.
It's weird. So they're playing Madden except with their punters. So they get all the fastest people.
Oh, that
in
would be a
Madden.
punter I would draft.
Yes.
That would be a punter I would have.
So Joe,
92 speed.
Yes. yes. I mean, if it's not 92 or up speed, I don't have
Just
him on my
run it the
team.
whole time.
Even my offensive linemen, they got to be fast.
oh no, I mean that is how he drafts all of his
Yeah.
teams. It's beautiful.
That's how you do it, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you burn people.
So Tampa wins the NFC South. Who's gonna win the NFC East? Because it is the Cowboys have to win, obviously.
Yep.
But the Giants have to beat the Eagles.
Well, I mean, I'm biased here. I think the Eagles are probably going to win against the Giants. And I think the Cowboys still win. It's just,
Well, you're our Eagles insider here. Is Jalen Hurts gonna play?
I don't know. If he's healthy, I think they play him just to get the one. That's about it, though. If he's not healthy, obviously he's not playing, and they're just going to hit the trenches,
I wonder if he's going to be
grit it
healthy.
out. I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know. Do you know?
I don't know.
No. All right. Well, I guess we'll fucking see. Will the Packers get in? Are they gonna beat the Lions?
Yes.
Unfortunately, Aaron Rodgers is going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers just loves torturing people, and so all he did was figure out a new way to torture people. He convinced everybody that Green Bay sucked just enough to where he went on a winning streak, and now he's going to be in the playoffs and is going to the NFC Championship game.
Yep.
Is that a home game or is that a away game for Green Bay?
It's an away game.
I think it would be away.
I think it's away.
I'll take a look at it.
It's an away because the Vikings are going to have the home game. They're going to be, yeah. So it would be
man.
it would be an away game.
Fuck, if the Vikings lose that game, dude.
That's tough.
This is
Ugh.
This is
Dude,
painful.
the NFC just sucks in general. Like it's just not good. It's so
bad.
top heavy.
Yeah.
It's like the Eagles.
Yo,
and
it's
then-
in Lambeau.
It is in Lambeau.
It's in Lambeau Field. Yeah.
Wow.
Gosh.
4-2, man.
Yep.
Sean said it himself, dude.
Yep.
They're gonna win that game.
You just
Son of a
gotta
bitch.
need home field. Home field advantage is in the NFL playoffs is more important than anything else in the world. Like it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you have 300 Spartans in that little cave or whatever, that alley that they had. Doesn't matter.
If the Persians had home field advantage, they would have won.
For
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. They it's more important than that. So, fuck. Damn, we're gonna have a fucking. We're gonna have Aaron Rodgers in the NFC Championship. Goddamn.
He's gonna lose. It's okay.
Okay. All right. I do want to talk about the Lions versus Packers coming up. That got flexed to Sunday night. So like, this is a fantasy gold mine, right? Mm-hmm. This is going to be an offensive game, I think, right? Because like, Jared Goff has been playing out of his mind, and
yeah, but that Green Bay's defense is pretty hot right now. That Jair Alexander, he's pretty hot. Mm-hmm. He's pretty hot right now.
That is true. I
think it might be one-sided.
It might be one-sided.
It might be one-sided.
You think it's going to be all Packers?
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's going to be like 28-10, something like that, where it's just maybe they're neck and neck for the part of the first half, and then the Packers just start pulling away, and the Lions can't get it done. Look, and I love the Cinderella story, man. The Lions deserve the Super Bowl, but
Joe and I are
tough
big.
luck.
Super Bowl.
Joe and I are big. We're big Dan Campbell guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know.
MCDC.
Motor City Dan Campbell.
Yeah, he needs to change it.
You don't like that?
No.
MCDC?
Too long, dude. I'm not saying all that. I'll just call him Dan. I don't know.
Well, what about if you just call him MCDC?
That's still a lot. That's a lot of breath leaving my body. Can't do that.
It's not gonna work. Can y'all guess the spread on this game?
Dude, it might be low.
I think I subconsciously saw it while I was looking through the game, so.
I think it might be like 6.5, 7. It's probably like a bookie bet, some weird shit like that, or like 3.
Which one?
Toward Packers.
Yeah. Which one?
-3.
-3?
Yeah, for
Ooh,
Packers.
You're close. What do you think?
Is it -5.5?
-4.5.
Fuck. Wow. That's a weird bet.
I think you just.
I think you slam it. Yeah,
you
for
slam,
sure.
slam the Packers, right?
I think you have to.
I think that's fairly obvious, right? That's not like
Lions are a dome team going to the cold weather in Lambeau. Yeah, that sounds like a.
That's.
What's the weather like on Sunday?
It's in Lambeau, bro, in January.
I know, but is it going to be? Yeah, it's going to be cold for sure. But dude, if this is a snow game, I think it's gone.
They say partly cloudy with a high of 32. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, that's actually not that bad. For Lambeau? Bro, it's going to be in between 25 to 32 degrees.
That's cold for me, so I can't imagine what those
people
are going to be going through.
Bro, we live in South Louisiana, my man.
Yeah.
Like, both of these teams, this is Detroit versus Green Bay. They're thoroughbreds when it comes to cold weather.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. All right, we got to figure this out. Who's going to the NFC Championship game? Just even without the seeds, who do you think's going to make it?
I think 49ers for sure. I think without a doubt they're going. If they go to the Super Bowl, that'd be cool. But I definitely know the 49ers are making it.
With Mr. Irrelevant?
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. I'm not a Brock Purdy fan, but I think just because of Kyle Shanahan and that's going on.
Yeah, but that's the biggest slap in the face. If you get beat by the last pick in the draft in the playoffs, fuck that.
Dude, if he wins the Super Bowl, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I would lose my shit.
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Nobody.
I wonder if that's ever been done before, like a rookie quarterback winning the Super Bowl.
The last pick of the draft, I don't think that's been done.
Yeah, I would have
as
to.
a quarterback, at least. There's probably been
so like a rookie. No. That's what we're talking about. A rookie quarterback ever go to the Super Bowl in his first year, and then he happens to be, or started in the Super Bowl, and then he just happens to be the last pick of the draft.
Amazon stats will tell us.
Yeah, they'll let us know. Yeah,
they'll tell us that.
Good
answer.
point. Good point.
Yeah.
They love telling us these stats that like nobody cares about.
Yeah. What was it, dude? It was like time to throw stat they showed for like 3 weeks in a row. I hated that, man. Hated that.
It doesn't matter.
It looks so bad. It's like, oh, they're so efficient with no time to throw. It's like, yeah, they're sending 9 people at them. Of course they have no time to throw.
Yeah. I mean, and they have some good stats. They're better than some of the ESPN ones where they're like, oh, Tom Brady was 213-0 when leading by 6 going into the last minute of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I love that. That's funny. or like, oh, Tom Brady's undefeated coming off a rainy Sunday. It's like, awesome. That's cool.
Yeah,
but that makes no sense in my brain.
It's all,
but awesome.
It also is like one of those stats that like none of us are ever gonna go and look that up.
No, not at
you
all.
can say that to me all you want, and I'm going to believe you because I'm never gonna look it up.
No.
I'm gonna take your word for it.
Yep.
Anyways, all right. So who's going to the AFC Championship game? So wait,
Oh,
do
man.
we finish the NFC one?
You got 49ers.
we got 49ers.
49ers, dude.
That's it?
Whoever wants to go there can go there at that point. I don't know.
So it's 49ers versus the field. What about the AFC Championship game? Are we going to see Joe Burrow again?
I think we do.
Yeah.
I think we do. That team is really hot right now.
They are on a fucking tear right
And
now.
beating a team like the Chiefs is a very big accomplishment, and he hasn't lost a single game to them. So I think
He's what,
that
3
team is
3-0?
prepared for war. Yeah, 3-0. I think they're going to the AFC for sure, unless a fluke happens.
Yep.
And Vegas says otherwise, but I think they're going to the AFC.
Joey B's just got that it factor. He's just got it.
He's just ready.
He's just ready. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how far down he gets in a game. He's just ready to win.
He's ready. That's the best way to describe Joe Burrow. He's ready. Anything you throw at him, ready. Doesn't matter if he throws a pick, ready, done. It doesn't matter. Short-term memory, throw it right back in their face, throw a touchdown pass. Because he's done that. He's thrown a pick six and then turned around and just drove the ball down the field.
Yep.
Fucking ready.
Methodical.
All right, Super Bowl picks, both of you. Jack, we'll start with you.
I think, man, I don't know. Bengals, 49ers, Bengals win. I mean,
Let's go.
I think so. Just because I think that offense, I mean, don't get me wrong, the 49ers defense is pretty lethal, but I think it is really hard to stop that Bengals offense. And that's just the way it is. In my eyes, at least. I think that's going to be the toughest challenge they probably have is stopping that offense.
Okay. All right, so we got Bengals for 49ers. That's a terrible uniform game. I hate that. I'm like trying to picture that in my brain
It's
right
going
now.
to be Pick City. Who knows where all these people are going to be? That's true. They're both wearing red, dude.
Well,
Everyone's catching it.
it's like they clash because they have orange in the San Francisco red, and it doesn't look good in my brain. You know what I'm saying?
that's
Like
right.
it's-
Bengals need to wear the white uniforms during that
they
game.
have to
the
wear
white
white
helmet?
uniforms with the white helmets.
white-
Yes.
Ugh.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Then I think that the uniform does make a difference though. Like if I was gonna bet on the game, I'd want to know what the Bengals helmet color would be.
Yeah, for sure.
I need to.
Yeah.
It would determine what I would bet.
Dude, I want to know the stat of like their record wearing the white helmets.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's their color rush, so they only like wore it a couple times, but they got to be undefeated, dude. If I was walking out in that, I'm running through a wall.
Yeah.
That builds some confidence in me, man.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah,
I get what you're coming from.
Yeah, nobody wants to see the Bengals wear that.
Nope.
They know it's an L. Joe, Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. So honestly, I don't know why, and because honestly, I haven't been like the biggest fan of him, like the entire until this year. He's kind of swung me this year, but I think the Eagles are gonna do it with Jalen Hurts.
All right.
You know what? This team is just loaded with talent. Sirianni is just like he's got balls and he's feisty as a coach, and he gets those guys playing. I think what happens this injury with Jalen Hurts is actually a good thing. They kind of correct some other flaws that they have. They're able to identify those flaws, and because Jalen Hurts kind of just bails them out sometimes in some games. He's just with his athletic ability. So then they correct those leading up into the playoffs. He comes back, and I think they take him all the way.
All
Let's
right.
go.
And from the AFC.
AFC, yeah, it's definitely got to be either Kansas City or Cincinnati. Because Patrick Mahomes seems almost harder to stop now that he doesn't have like a solidified go-to besides Travis Kelce. Like he just spreads the ball around. I almost kind of feel tempted that he might pull it off this time in the playoffs. So he has that extra mojo against Burrow. So I think
only
Kansas
needs 13 seconds.
He only needs
scary.
13
That's
seconds.
it. That is it.
Yes.
So you got Kansas City versus the Eagles.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's a good one, dude.
That is
Yeah,
That is a good one. That is a good one. I've been torn. I don't know what. I really want to put Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Yeah, I just don't like. He has playoff Lenny. Mike Evans is finally showing up for work, and I think he's gonna do it. I think he's going to do it. I think we're going to have Tom Brady. It'll be probably Tom Brady and the 49ers in the NFC Championship game. That being said, I think they're going to have to beat the Eagles.
They will,
So
yeah.
that's what's going to have to happen. So I'm going to say the 49ers and the Chiefs. We're going to have a rematch.
Oh, that sucks.
That's boring as shit.
That sucks.
What?
That sucks.
How does that suck?
No, I'm not saying your take sucks. I'm saying
No,
just watching another Super Bowl like this,
Yeah.
it's really going to suck.
Okay, fine. I'll change
It's like watching Alabama Georgia in the national championship.
It's like, oh, wow, this is so exciting, dude.
Oh, maybe I'm a little boring. Whatever, dude. I'm trying to actually pick. Okay, if you know my history, you know to fade every single one of my picks.
I know.
Okay. Yeah, you
very
do.
sure.
He was there whenever I came back into work, and I after that weekend I went 1 for 11 in my picks, and I like legitimately thought about these picks. I went 1 for 11. Like if you had just faded all my picks, you would have been a very wealthy man that day.
Yep.
It was so yeah. Okay, there you go. Just fade my picks. Chiefs versus Bucks.
Yeah. I understand where the picks are coming from. I just, as a sports fan, if I have to watch this rematch, I'm going to lose my shit. I'm going to go
Right.
nuts.
Yeah.
Also, that is the worst color match. The Chiefs red versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers red.
Yeah.
And you can't even do anything about it because the white uniforms for both of them will suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even want to watch my prediction at all. God damn. And I actually thought about this. Like, that's actually what I think's going to happen. So,
That's fair.
anyway.
I'm surprised we all left out the Bills.
I just think
I
there's
think this is
problems
gonna-
on that team that Josh Allen cannot dig them out of sometimes. You can't, your entire team cannot be based around one player. It's fine, totally fine. You're going to win a lot of games. You're going to win the playoffs a lot. You're not going to win a championship. That defense is good. A lot of injuries this year.
Yeah.
That O-line, it's just first come, first serve. If you want to hit the quarterback, go right ahead.
Yep.
Yeah, Josh Allen is strong enough to throw a defensive lineman. We've seen it before, but
Yep.
he can't constantly do it. He can't constantly bail out that team. As
Yeah.
good as he is, he can't.
You're right because you've seen that with their losses. Like
Yeah.
you can't you need somebody else. So you need like a Devin Singletary to step up. You need like somebody your offensive line to do well. You need your like it is tough whenever you focus in or when you rely on just one person.
Yep.
It is and the fact that they are at the record that they're at 11-4 or 10-4 or something like that. Whatever it is, is just a testament to how good Josh Allen is.
Yeah.
He's just that fucking good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you're right. I think the reason all of us left them out is because they are a little one-dimensional.
Yeah.
In the sense that, like, if Josh Allen can't pull off those, 15, 20-yard runs, if he can't, make that magic happen with his feet and then throwing the ball downfield, they don't really have any other option.
Yeah.
So
they don't.
It's tough. But yeah, I don't think that the Damar Hamlin thing is gonna do them any favors. Like it could spur them on because
Could inspire 'em.
I could see like someone like Stephon Diggs using this as a pump up method because Stephon Diggs is so good at that.
Yeah, I think that he would also spread that in the locker room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like spread that kind of mentality.
So it could go either way.
Yeah.
I agree. But yeah, it is a little strange. None of us picked the Bills because they were the heavy favorite at the beginning of the year.
And they got that kind of revenge factor, too,
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
after what happened last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, those are our picks. Jack, thank you so much for coming on, man. It was a pleasure. We definitely went a lot longer than I thought. It's just, I get caught up in talking about sports. I just don't.
Dude, I feel the same way.
I don't know what else. Like this is what I love doing. So yeah, So part of the contract that you signed earlier is that if we have you on, you have to come on again.
That's fine, dude.
And
It's an
you have-
honor.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Well, it's in your contract.
It's
so
in your
you're contractually obligated.
So
honor, dude.
you kind of have to come back on. You don't really have much of a choice. So, yeah. Joe, you got anything else for him before we go?
I think that's about it. Thanks for coming on, man.
Dude, thank y'all for having me. It's awesome. It flowed really nice. Love
Yeah.
talking about football. It was dope.
You're a natural. You're a natural.
Yeah, felt good, dude. Felt good.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank y'all.
And we are back. Great interview with Jack. Hopefully get him back on the podcast here soon.
No, most definitely.
Yeah, that was really good. All right, let's get to the rest of the games, and then we'll send you on your way. The rest of Week 17, let's start with the Thursday night game, Cowboys versus Titans. I guess the big stories, Tony Pollard and Derrick Henry were both out. I think they're both the running back number ones for their respective teams.
Yeah, you can make a valid case.
I think Zeke's out. The only impressive thing he has going this year is that he has 9 touchdowns in 9 games.
Yeah, he's definitely become the goal line back. And honestly, he has been coming on as of late. But I mean, Pollard's been doing it all year.
Dude, yeah, it's been all Pollard. Like, how do you think he gets down there to get to the goal line?
Yeah,
Tony Pollard. It's weird. I guess another headline was Josh Dobbs making his first start of the year, I believe. They benched Malik Willis. I mean, he was terrible. Malik Willis was not very good. He showed signs of promise. He's just not ready.
He's not ready.
He's not ready. And I think Josh Dobbs just solidified himself as a backup quarterback.
Oh, he did. He did. It was a nice little return to Tennessee. He used to play college at the University of Tennessee.
Yes, he did.
So he had some fans. He had his parents there who gave some quite interesting expressions during the game. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they actually are big football fans. They don't appear as very big football fans. They're probably just because they're like incredibly smart people, because I mean they talked about it during the game how he was, what was it, aeroscience, aeroscopology,
aerospace,
stuff way smarter than
rocket science.
I know.
Yeah, something that we don't know anything about.
Yeah, absolutely
we
not.
have no clue. He's 100 billion light years smarter than we are.
Yeah,
that's essentially what we're getting at here.
But he played good. I mean, that's what you want to see from a backup quarterback, is like somebody who can just come in, learn the system really well, and know how to make the reads down the field.
Yep.
I mean, that's how Ryan Fitzpatrick made of living. He came out of Harvard.
Yeah, he was very, very smart, but very funny too.
Yeah.
He's just like that space cadet. You never knew what was going through his brain, but it was always something smart. Or it was about, 80s porn stars.
Something along those lines.
The white jerseys and white helmets for the Dallas Cowboys, I like them.
They were pretty good.
I especially like them. I think all of them, if you wear those helmets in those uniforms, you have to wear a visor.
Oh, like Zeke?
Yeah, it looks so much cooler with a visor.
Yeah.
Like the white with the black visor is it's perfect. Mm-hmm. I think they need to. And the only other thing I have is one of Dak's interceptions was unearned. There was it got tipped. So he shouldn't be credited what he had, two interceptions?
I think so.
I think he had 2 interceptions. He should be only credited with 1. I like keeping up with that. That's a big stat for me. Yeah, he had 2 interceptions. That's a big stat for me. I think he needs to, like, we need to keep up with the unearned stat. I think that needs to be a thing in the NFL.
Yep.
I really do.
Also, the Micah Parsons runs onto the field and
you saw that?
Yeah, late runs onto the field, makes the tackle.
That actually, I think that might have been a strategy. If you think about it, because like the offense that's actually not a bad play, because like the offense was not accounting for him. Like they had no idea he was going to be even on the field. So like when the offensive line, they have their assignments, whenever before the snap, and nobody accounted for Micah Parsons.
Nope.
They had to make an adjustment. So I like it. I actually kind of condone that.
Maybe that's a new strategy now, because you know how we had Aiden Hutchinson was hanging out on the sideline, and then he jumps in and makes the interception
pulling a Jose Alvarez.
Jose Alvarado.
That's
it. Dude, that was funny. And then you have Michael Parsons running onto the field late, like you said, with the offense not accounting for him. They had all their blocking assignments set.
Right. Yeah. You got anything else in this game?
That's about it. That's all he had from this game.
This is mostly just a countdown game because nobody really cared. It's like obviously the Dallas Cowboys had to win, but the Titans did not have to. They could have lost this.
Yeah.
And so
obviously their game.
It's their game's next week.
Yeah.
And so it kind of is the Cowboys. Like they mostly need the Giants to lose or Giants to beat the Eagles. Mm-hmm. So, Let's go on. The Cowboys beat the Titans 27-13. Let's move on to the Cardinals versus Falcons. Bye-bye Cliff Kingsbury. That was essentially what I got from this game.
Yeah, that's about it. This was like one of the first meaningless games. Both teams eliminated from the playoffs. Basically, you just go and check the other storylines. Cliff Kingsbury's probably done.
Who's gonna look? I literally have bye Cliff Kingsbury. Who cares? Who's gonna be the next coach?
Yeah, and then let's talk about J.J. Watt.
Yeah,
that's about it. That's all the commentators had on this one.
That's it. Nobody really gave a shit about this game. Yeah, it was a good run, and it was a good run for Cliff Kingsbury. You think that maybe he's just better suited as an assistant coach, like an offensive coordinator or something, or do you think he's a college guy?
He might be more of a college guy. I would say he might also be an offensive coordinator too.
I think he's more of an offensive coordinator in the NFL. I feel like he would thrive under Bill Belichick.
He's got good offensive concepts. Yeah, something that could kind of help Belichick kind of evolve his system a little bit.
Yep.
But he can also kind of, help kind of discipline his system a little bit with Belichick. It could be a win-win situation. He can do like a Nick Saban thing.
That's the first thing I thought of. So, yeah. I didn't really have much on this. Did you have anything else?
Yeah, a close game yet anticlimactic.
Yeah.
So there wasn't really much to it.
No. All right. Cardinals lose to the Falcons 19-20. Bears versus Lions. The Lions, if they win and the Seahawks lose, they're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's essentially, obviously the Bears are fighting for a better draft position, so they needed to lose this one. My favorite stat of this game was Justin Fields had 75 yards passing and 120 or 132 yards rushing.
Yep.
That was great. I love those stats.
I know, right?
He's just so athletic, but he just didn't want to throw the ball at all because he probably couldn't. He probably wasn't allowed to.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. It's kind of tough to see. We'll see what he does in the future. He's ultra athletic. I guess you're just gonna have to make an offense kind of catered around that.
Yeah, they're gonna have to go to the draft and build around Justin Fields because they got that centerpiece. It's like you remember when the Romans invented the ark. It's the cornerstone. The cornerstone is at the top of the ark, okay, and that's what holds the ark together. Mm-hmm. That Justin Fields is that cornerstone. He just needs to build the ark around him.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's an excellent point.
He can hold it together. You just got to put the right players around him in the right spots.
Yeah, or if you get the right coach that kind of like you said, built around him, but like more of like a Nick Sirianni type of guy that because we were kind of saying the same thing about Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Before. And now Jalen Hurts is one of the more prolific passers in the league right now. So,
he's one of the more electric quarterbacks in the league, period.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter throwing or running.
Much to my surprise.
Same here. He did throw the ball a lot at Oklahoma. Let's be real. He can sling the ball, especially now that they got talent like A.J. Brown around him. Miles Sanders coming into his own, it is what it is. But, Jameson Williams is fast.
He's fast.
You remember, it was just we haven't seen him most of the year. It's nice to see a good reminder of how fast he was.
Yeah, he's got to remind people hey, I'm here, I'm fast. I was picked top 10 in the draft.
There's a reason for it.
And if you're a Lions fan, you got to get excited. You're getting excited for next year.
Yep.
Dan, like we've said with the Jaguars, and now also with Dan Campbell. You got to roll with Dan Campbell another year at least, and I think he's priming him up for next year.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody is questioning Dan Campbell anymore. They're on a tear at the end of the year. The only thing I wasn't a fan of in this game was the gray helmets. Gray helmets from Detroit. Detroit had all gray and no logo. I did not like that. I need the logo.
Need the logo. It balances it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's exciting. The Lions have something to play for next week. Doesn't look so hot because I think the Seahawks are gonna win. And I don't think the Lions are gonna beat the Packers. That's my only problem with this here. I do think that the Seahawks are going to beat the Rams, and I really do think the Packers are going to win in Lambeau. Like, even though both of them are used to cold weather games.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the Lions showed that they really do want to make the playoffs. They did put a beating on the Bears.
And I mean, we've talked about this before, but it's so nice when like the rah-rah coaches actually do things, because that's like we're not the smartest people. Like we keep up with a lot of football and a lot of sports, so we can talk about it. But like when it comes to like the details, the ins and outs, we would be the rah-rah guy.
Yeah, we're no Josh Dobbs.
We're not. No. We're not Josh Dobbs. We're not Sean McVay. We don't have this photographic memory. We're a Dan Campbell.
We're a Dan Campbell. Yeah.
We are a type of Dan Campbell type of coach. Like, we like the rah-rah guys. And honestly, that's what I thought Brian Daboll was, but I think he might actually low-key be a genius.
Yeah, he kind of might be a genius.
I think he might be like low-key.
You kind of have to. Well, you have to be imaginative if you're an offensive coordinator. Like, you have to have a good sense of imagination and be able to be creative.
Yeah,
and that's what we're discovering with Brian Daboll. Because honestly, he does look like that guy, former offensive lineman type of guy, where you're more of a kind of ground and pound type of offensive system. But he is very creative.
Yes, he is. But it's just nice. I like it. You got anything else on this one?
That's about it.
All right, Bears lose to the Lions 10-41. Broncos versus the Chiefs. Basically, Russ has 13 touchdowns now.
Yay!
And nobody cares. And like
Nope.
it actually, like, people care, but they're just sad about it now.
Mahomes is still undefeated against the Broncos. He's 11-0.
He's 11-0 against the Broncos.
Yep.
Oh man, this was okay. This was one of those games where, like, I commend the Chiefs for winning, even though it was close, because this is one of those games, and there's another game later on, I'll get to it. This is one of those games that it's hard to get up for.
Yep.
Like, it is, like, you are playing the Broncos, who have been a dumpster fire all year, and, like, it's just, like, the only thing you can hold on to is that they're a division rivalry.
Yep.
That's it. So, kudos to the Chiefs. It was close, and it probably shouldn't have been close, but they pulled out a victory here.
Yeah, they've been Kansas City and Mahomes have been kind of keeping it close with bad teams. They have it. It's not something to be too concerned about, because as long as they keep winning them and make themselves into the number one seed, they'll be fine when they get to the playoffs and better competition. They can get up for them. Mm-hmm. But we've seen this kind of couple of times this year where they've been close, both times with the Broncos.
Yep. But they always come out on top. They always come out on top. So, unfortunately, the bathrooms did not win. The touchdowns did. Again, this is not a compliment in any way to Russ, because 13 touchdowns, you should have had over 30.
Yeah, I mean, $250 million doesn't buy you 13 touchdowns.
No. You know what does? Backup quarterback salary buys you 13 touchdowns.
Yes.
I think Andy Dalton probably has more touchdowns than him.
Should we fact check it?
Let's fact check it. So while he's fact checking that, the Broncos lose to the Chiefs 24-27. I think the Chiefs have a great shot at going to the Super Bowl. I know we talked about this earlier with Jack. The Chiefs, it just looks like this is the Chiefs' year. Like, it just, I want Joe Burrow to get there. I would love to see Josh Allen get there. Honestly, all three of these, it wouldn't matter to me. I would love to see all three of them get there. But unfortunately, we can only have one, and I think I'm gonna put my money on Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. They just you got that stat up?
I'm pulling it up. It's coming. It's a coming.
I feel it coming. You know what this is? This week was a what's that band? They sing the Bee's Knees. They sing staying alive. Yeah, that's what this is. Like, it's like the Lions and Packers.
Yep.
All right, or the Jaguars and Titans. Just staying alive. The Steelers staying alive.
17 touchdowns by Andy Dalton this year.
So he beats Russ.
He beats Russ.
Yeah, and we're probably paying Andy Dalton like $13 an hour. So, all right, let's get to the Dolphins versus Patriots. Patriots look like they're gonna make the playoffs. Like, what Shit.
They've been kind of benefiting from backup QBs and
Miami sucking.
other situations, because I think the week before that too they had a situation where they kind of benefited from, if I remember correctly. But yeah, no, this time they had to go against Teddy Bridgewater.
I'll say something nice about Teddy Bridgewater. He had a nice little Patrick Mahomes-like shovel pass.
He did.
Into the end zone. That was a Mahomes-esque. Skylar Thompson is not great. That pick six. I think it was a pick six against Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater threw a pick six. That was the play that he broke his finger on. Mm-hmm. And then Skylar Thompson came in, and it was just not good.
Yeah. Well, Teddy Bridgewater knows how to be a backup QB. I mean,
he's the best backup. He's one of the best backup QBs of all time.
Yeah,
he's spready Teddy. He covers the spread.
He covers the spread, and also he doesn't stay out there long enough to see himself become the villain. He still stays the good guy. He dies off. He gets back on the bench.
Yep.
And he stays the backup quarterback.
He's seen Batman.
He's seen Batman.
Yeah, that's probably his favorite movie. You got anything else on this one?
I think that's about it. Christian Barrymore did the waddle after the sack. That was funny.
He did. That was funny.
That's a big man doing a waddle.
I mean, if you think about it, like proportionally speaking, penguins are kind of fat.
Yeah, that is true. They're a little bit around.
It actually makes more sense for a big man to do the waddle than Jalen Waddle to actually do the waddle.
Yeah, but that's also the sign of a good dance, like a good celebration.
That is true. Okay, so like the gritty is being done to Justin Jefferson, but I think it's become like more of a slap in the face now type of thing. Like,
well, that's what I'm saying.
But okay, yeah,
it gets on the defense's nerves because now the defenses are doing it back at the offense.
Okay, so that's a testament to a good touchdown dance.
Yes, it's getting on the defense's nerves.
Good deal. Yeah, so I got the Dolphins beating the Patriots 21-23. Or I'm sorry, Dolphins losing to the Patriots 21-23. We'll see what happens next week, baby.
Yep.
We'll see what happens next week. Colts versus Giants. Giants are in. This is wild. I know he won't be, but Brian Daboll should be in Coach of the Year talks.
Oh, he definitely should be. I think I saw something where he won it, but it was like an NFL meme page, so you can't really believe that.
I believe whatever I want to believe.
Everything on the internet's true.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can't find one lie on the internet.
No.
Show me one lie. I dare you. I double dog dare you. Daniel Jones had 4 total touchdowns.
Yep.
He had 2 passing and 2 rushing. I think Brian Daboll is just like, all right, this is what I got. This is how I'm gonna use them, and it's kind of genius. I think it's been working. He's been doing a very, very good job of it.
Some, like we've talked about, some coaches they like to have a good quarterback. They have to have a good quarterback. Sean McVay, he's got to have somebody who's willing to chuck it down the field, like a Matthew Stafford or a Baker Mayfield. Some coaches just love the challenge of making somebody irrelevant actually good. Kyle Shanahan, Brian Daboll,
Bill Belichick. They relish in the challenge.
Yes,
they relish it.
Honestly, I wonder if it has to be like a big pride thing of coaching. Like it's like I can make this guy like awesome.
I'm gonna take this scrub and turn him into a fucking champion.
Yeah, it's my fucking system that works.
Honestly, the most impressive one though is if Kyle Shanahan does something with Mr. Irrelevant.
Oh, if he advances very far into the playoffs or even makes the Super Bowl.
And you did it with Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah.
Then at that point, like you could look at Brett Favre, you can look at Tom Brady, all these quarterbacks drafted really, really late, like 6th round draft picks, doing all of these, going to the Super Bowl and shit. But like that's when you know that when Mr. Irrelevant does well, anything can happen. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. But yeah, dude, so Lawrence Taylor rang the bell at the beginning of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you saw that or not.
That's big hype.
He still looks scary. He's got to be like late 50s, early 60s or something. I still would not want to try and run against him.
Yeah. No.
He is scary. He is a very scary human being. I can only imagine what it was like going up against him in his prime.
In his prime. Yeah.
Unreal.
He's probably like that Michael Jordan-esque. Like it's like, oh, I could still play now.
Yeah. Oh, he probably could. I'm not gonna lie. It's like T.O. trying to try out for teams at 49 years old.
Yeah.
It's like Jaromir Jagr scoring a goal for the Czech a month before his 51st birthday. It's wild. Dude.
Yeah.
It's insane. Why was Kayvon Thibodeau's Snow Angel controversial? I don't understand.
I think Jeff Saturday just got upset because he went into offensive line mode, and it's like, oh, you got to protect your quarterback at all costs, whatever. You can't let people do that to you. And like his offensive line didn't do anything because the Colts have quit.
Oh, okay. All right. So it was mostly just him getting pissed.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff Saturday, he's done. It was a good experiment. I don't think it worked out. Or it could have worked out like the way he wanted. He might have wanted somebody who was going to come in maybe like 50-50 shot. I don't know if...
Like, it was a good friend type of move for Jim Irsay,
Yeah.
but at the same time, he low-key was trying to get the number one pick.
Okay.
You know? Like, he was tanking.
Setting him up to fail.
Tanking. Like, either, hey, look, he succeeds, and it's like, oh, my friend, I got my friend to succeed as a coach. Or it's like, he failed, but hey, we got in the number one pick.
That's true. That's a win-win for Jim Irsay.
Exactly.
No.
That's why I didn't really understand why the media was like all up in arms about it, but I guess it's because of the Rooney Rule.
It was the Rooney Rule. That was the only reason. It was a good move on Jim Irsay's part. He found a way around the system. So, anyways, you got anything else on this?
That's about it.
All right, Colts lose to the Giants 10-38. Browns versus Commanders. Wentz is done. He is officially a backup quarterback.
My boy wins?
Yeah. So, you remember how last week we talked about him being the sixth man? He needed to come off the bench.
Oh, yeah.
He did not come off the bench this.
Oh, yeah.
He did not come off the bench this week, and he played scared.
Oh, gosh, dude. I mean, what was it? The first drive he threw an interception.
Yeah, he was scared.
Yep.
He cannot start a game. He has solidified himself as a backup. He's a backup quarterback for sure. But the fact that like you try and start him, he's not good at starting games. He's good at coming off the bench midway through the third quarter. That's it. That's it. That's all you use Carson Wentz for ever.
Yeah.
That's it. Don't do anything else with him except that.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Heineken wasn't actually given. Heineke wasn't given a chance in this game because
That was bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should have. Like, he's been playing well enough to have the starting role.
I mean, he's been winning.
Like, exactly. And you could tell at the end of the game, Ron Rivera's face. He's like, I fucked up.
Yeah, messed up big time.
I fucked up big time. You could see it. That's just the face of a man who knows that he done fucked up. Ron.
Yeah. He kind of wasn't all there, especially at the press conference too. I mean, he didn't realize his team was eliminated.
Yeah, dude, that's one of those. Who was the coach that didn't know that there was ties? I think it was Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh didn't know when he was at San Francisco. He didn't know about ties, or was it John Harbaugh?
I was about to say, I feel like Jim knows the rule book in
and out. Yeah. It was one coach. I can't remember who it was. I know people are gonna be just dying, like yelling.
They're yelling through the.
They're yelling
the
through the radio right now. It was somebody didn't know that there was ties, and it was in fairness. Actually, I can't even try and defend him. It was the first year that they did ties, but as a head coach of the NFL, you have to know that there's ties.
Jay Gruden.
Jay Gruden. Oh, that's it. That's it.
Actually, you know what? Never mind. I was confusing the coaches, but yeah, Jay Gruden.
Jay Gruden didn't
when he
know
was
that
at Washington.
When he was at Washington, didn't know that there was fucking ties. Actually, that's funny. We're talking about the Browns Commanders right now. Do you remember that almost sack that was against Watson? The defender like pushed him but gave up because. Do you remember that?
I didn't see it, but
it sucked because it was clearly the defender gave up because he didn't want to rough the passer because he thought Deshaun was going to throw it away, so he pushed him a little bit, and then when he realized Deshaun didn't throw it away, Deshaun had another opportunity to throw the ball, and then he had to push him out of bounds. It just sucks. The roughing the passer needs to get figured out. Like obviously we need to make the game like they're trying to make the game safer. I get it, but man, we gotta fucking define this.
Yeah, yes, you're right. There needs to be a clear definition of what is roughing the passer, because, and honestly,
Nobody knows.
because quarterbacks are definitely taking advantage of this.
Yes, 100%, and I don't blame them.
No.
I don't blame them at all. Did you got anything else on this?
That's about it.
All right, Browns beat the Commanders 24-10. Jaguars Texans 31-3. Honestly, this game didn't matter. It was mostly just now it's going to be a showdown next week versus the Jaguars versus the Titans.
I was about to say, Jags went full steam ahead, ready for next week, and basically Texans are full on Bryce Young sweepstakes.
Yep. The only really real note I had on this was Texans just don't look like they have any fucking talent. They really don't look like they have any talent.
Yeah.
And it's like maybe a quarterback like Bryce Young can turn this around. I don't think so. I think there's a ton of pieces that they need to put in.
Well, that's what I thought for a second. I honestly, I'm not entirely. I'm definitely not on board with him as much now. But at the beginning of the season, I didn't think Davis Mills was bad. I thought he was maybe serviceable, and he could have been a bridge quarterback for them as they started getting more talent on that team. Because obviously their problems stem way beyond their quarterback position. But yeah, it's something like what they did in Seattle, where they kind of had a bridge quarterback until they then got a bunch of talent until honestly, third rounder Russell Wilson steps in and does phenomenal, brings them to the Super Bowl because they were loaded with talent.
Yep.
So I thought Davis Mills could be that guy. He's gonna be a backup.
Yeah,
from here on out.
He's a backup. Mills Mafia was fun for a little bit. It was a good time. We enjoyed it, but it's done.
It's done.
He's a backup.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's time for Texans to rebuild. Obviously. But you got anything else?
That's it.
All right, Jaguars beat Texans 31-3. Let's get to the other game that I was talking about earlier. 49ers versus Raiders. It's the same as the Chiefs. It's a hard game for the 49ers to get up for.
Yeah.
It's like that girl that like you're trying to be a wingman for your boy. And you're diving on the friend grenade, okay? So, like, what that means is, like, your boy's trying to hit on this girl. He needs your help because the girl has a friend, and she's not attractive at all.
No.
So, like, you end up having to dive on the friend grenade.
We've all been there.
And it kind of sucks, but you're doing it for your boys.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing it for your boys, and that's what happened. So, like, it's just it was a hard one to get up for. So, like, whenever you're in bed with the girl, you're trying to, like, you're trying to make the most of it.
Yeah.
But you can't get up.
And then you remembered how much whiskey you drank to actually, proceed with this.
Right. Exactly. So, like, then you're just like, oh, my God, this isn't going to work. And then you have a floppy wiener the whole time. So this is one of those games. That's what I liken it to. This is one of those games it's just hard to get up for.
Yeah, but then you remember you got your good old friend George Kittle, a.k.a. Viagra, that gets the job done.
Boom. Kittle just pops that boner right up.
Yeah.
Gets it going. So, yeah, I mean, Chris McCaffrey also helps. It's like Chris McCaffrey's like the gas station pill.
Yeah.
You get your energy going.
You got to, yeah. There's a lot of things that you got to methodically take into effect and take before to get everything up and counter everything.
To counter the whiskey and possible cocaine or other drugs you have in your system.
Exactly.
So, yeah, all right. Kittle and Chris McCaffrey are basically just Viagra and gas station pills.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, good. Brock Purdy's undefeated. Let's just go ahead and announce that.
Yep.
Brock Purdy's undefeated. And, dude, one thing I noticed, Chris McCaffrey always has a dirty uniform. That's how you know you're getting used. Like,
yes.
That's how you know you're an integral part of this team.
Yeah.
So, and it helps that, their uniforms are usually white, but even when they're not white, he has a dirty
He always usually has a dirty uniform, yeah. He's playing hard. He enjoys football again.
Dude, so this game was actually fairly entertaining.
Oh, it was a great game.
It was a really good game. Devontae Adams had like insane catch after insane catch. He had like we talked about earlier with Jack, he had that one-armed catch in the end zone. It was just like he's top three, easy top three best wide receivers in the game. He could be number one. Like you have a good argument if you're trying to make it one for him being number one.
Oh yeah, I love how both of these quarterbacks just came in and they're like they just understood. They understood the assignment. They know exactly what they had to do. It's like Brock Purdy came in, I'm throwing it to Kittle, and then Jarrett Stidham came in. He's like, I'm throwing it to Adams. That's what you have to do.
And that's what they did. And honestly, Brock Purdy kind of spread it out a little bit. He threw a bunch of Ayuk.
But that touchdown pass to Kittle,
yeah, that was
spot on.
That was spot on. It was awesome. Let's see. What else did I have? Oh, it shouldn't have gone into OT. So that Robbie Gould should have made that.
He definitely should have.
So it shouldn't have even gone into OT. But hey, the fact that it did, it was more entertaining for us. It was a really fun game.
Well, we got to see Nick Bosa absolutely destroy that left tackle's whole entire career.
Yep.
And cause the errant throw for the pick six.
Yep. Yeah, Nick Bosa, man, he's an anomaly. He doesn't make very much sense to me.
No, he doesn't.
He's a stoner that's just really good at football.
He really is a stoner.
Awesome. It's awesome, man. He's the coolest guy in the NFL, and like he's just wrecking havoc.
Yeah, the style he plays and the type of tone he talks are completely two different.
Not
personalities.
Not even close. They are. It's almost like he's bipolar in that like whenever the quarterback says "hut," he turns into a completely different person.
He's like a monster.
And then when the whistle sounds, he's Bosa again. He's Nick Bosa again.
He's like, well, I got a sack on that play.
Well, I could have done better on that play.
And his celebration is perfect. He just lifts his hands up. It's like,
yeah, it's just
there
Nick
it goes
Bosa
again.
Yeah, there, I did it again. It's awesome. He's actually one of my favorite players in the NFL right now.
Maybe it's more of like a gladiator type, but it's more of just like a question. It's like, are you entertained?
Yeah, like Russell is out there like alpha dog. Are you entertained? And
he just asks the crowd.
He's curious.
He's curious if the crowd is entertained.
Are you having fun? Oh, good. I'm glad you're having fun. All right, I'm gonna do it again. And he does it again. Yeah. So Robbie Gould did get to redeem himself. He had that field goal in OT. So that was nice. He got to redeem himself.
Yeah.
You got anything else in this one?
That's about it.
All right. 49ers beat Raiders in OT 37-34. Let's get to Jets Seahawks. Jets are 2-7 in the last 9 games.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's not great. Not great at all.
Someone hijacked that jet. Yeah. It's going down.
Too soon.
Too soon.
Too soon.
Yeah.
They hijacked that jet and drove it straight into the Pentagon.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you know what sucked? It actually doesn't suck, but it just kind of irked me a little bit. Zach Wilson looks happy that his team's losing.
He does. He kind of has that smirk on his face when something goes bad.
It's that stupid little fucking smirk. He's got that face. Whenever he does that smirk, he's got that face that you just want to punch.
Yeah.
And like most people will know what I'm talking about here. There's those individuals in your life that come in and they have that face. There's nothing personal between you two because you probably have never said words, but you just want to punch them right in the fucking face.
Yep.
Like you just want to rearrange their nose a little bit, And I think that's what Zach Wilson is to me. Like there's no particular reason. I just want to like dislocate his jaw real quick.
Yeah.
And that one pissed me off. When you look happy when your team is losing, that's not good. I hate that.
Mm-hmm.
Only other thing I really had on this was Seattle needs Green Bay to lose and them to win, and Seattle's in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like fucking Geno Smith, he can do it.
Did Geno Smith have this one written down?
Why do you think so?
Playing the Jets again?
He was the Jet. Oh, this was a revenge game.
A revenge game. Low-key just kind of got overlooked.
It did. Oh, now that you say that, that is a revenge game.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, it did get overlooked. And it shouldn't have because both the Jets and the Seahawks were like decent teams. Well, Jets not recently, but Seahawks are a decent team.
You feel like this would be like something the media would jump on, like a storyline, because they are all about storylines.
Especially like with those two markets. Like New York's obviously the biggest market in the U.S., and then Seattle's got a big market.
Yeah, exactly.
So you'd think they would jump on this, but I guess not. Yeah. Nice revenge game for Geno Smith. What else you got on this one?
When you start losing, you start getting those rumors, and now the Derek Carr to Jets rumors have begun.
It's the Derek Carr to everywhere rumors, man. I'm gonna say something that's not gonna be very popular. Derek Carr's a backup.
He's a backup.
Yeah, I'm not. I know it's not gonna be a very popular opinion. It's not even that hot of a take. I just think it's true. I think he's a backup. He's just a backup.
I think a good system. He's not bad. I think he just needs to not be in full control and have the game on his shoulders type of quarterback.
So you think he would thrive under someone like a Bill Belichick type of coach, someone that takes control and he just does what he's told?
Maybe more like Tennessee Titans, where he can hand it off to Derrick Henry most of the time and then just have to make some throws every now and then.
I see.
Or like next year with the Jets, I think it's a good fit because then he can just hand it off to Breece Hall and then just rely on Robert Saleh's defense most of the time.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. You got anything else in this game?
That's about it.
All right, Jets lose to the Seahawks 6-23. Rams versus Chargers. This was another who cares game. Joey Bosa was back.
Joey Bosa was back.
That's nice. I don't know if he has the same personality as Nick Bosa. I can only imagine they do.
I mean, they're brothers.
Yeah. And, we know a little something about being brothers.
Brothers, they went to the same school.
Yeah.
They've got to have some sort of similar interest. They play the same. They play the same position.
Yeah, they grew up together. They do the same things. So, that's probably cool. Do you think McVay and Brandon Staley are friends outside of work? Do you think they hang out? I think they hang out.
I think they do.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, they're right next to each other. They're probably neighbors.
And they seem like all lovey-dovey to each other at the beginning of the game.
Well, they're both offensive-minded guys.
Yeah.
Very creative.
I think they hang out outside of work. They probably bang the same chicks.
That's a lot of information, but maybe
They could be swingers.
They could be.
I think they're swingers.
They could be. I mean, football has shown us that. They are like those type of festivities that go on during games.
Oh yeah, we know that. Mike Williams had a nasty one-arm grab.
That man's sick.
He is.
He's dirty.
He's not well. He's just too good.
I honestly, if that game had the same implications as like the Vikings had earlier this year, with that fourth down play and Justin Jefferson, or it was a primetime game like when Odell Beckham Jr. got that one-handed catch, I think that catch is almost on the same level as those.
Oh, I agree.
It's just only because the implications didn't, match up to
Nobody
all those
cared
other
about this game.
Exactly.
The Rams suck.
But that was sick.
I agree. It was an unreal catch. Cam Akers is going to be drafted first round in fantasy. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. He's going to be drafted.
I was going to say
Eckler should be potentially number one.
Well, yeah, but I was going to say he probably won most people's fantasy this week.
Oh, absolutely. In Eckler, you trust.
Yeah,
right?
10 carries, 122 yards, 2 touchdowns. I don't even know. I forgot to get his receiving stats
I think
as well.
He had a receiving. He had a couple. He definitely had a couple of catches. I just don't know what they were for. But yeah. I mean, Eckler carried people's fantasy teams in the second half of the season.
I like how he had the Madden stats. It's like 10 carries, 122 yards, 12.2 yards per carry. That's exactly what I want as my Madden stats. Like if I have less than 10 yards per carry with my running back, I'm pissed.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Video game stats, I love them. What else you got on this one? I think that was pretty much. I mean, there wasn't really too much to this game.
It was the Battle of LA.
It was Battle of LA, yeah. I mean, I guess.
I like that we have the Battle of LA. It's kind of cool, kind of like what we had, similar to what we see with the NBA with the Clippers and Lakers. I just hate that it was at the expense of St. Louis and San Diego losing a team.
Yeah, I'm more St. Louis. I don't think San Diego really cared.
Yeah, I mean, they're honestly all they have to do is just go next door neighbors. But
exactly.
Yeah, St. Louis, that was kind of sad to see.
Yeah, maybe we'll
get an expansion.
Like grab 2 more teams because we need even teams in the NFL. We can't have an odd number of teams in the NFL.
Oh no, I was thinking of just creating a whole nother division.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I mean, let's see.
More teams.
Let's see. 4.
Well, no,
the 4 cities that we would do: St. Louis, Oklahoma City. I was thinking Birmingham,
Portland,
Alabama.
Portland, Oregon. We could do Portland.
And maybe Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, I guess we could. Because like if we do another division, I feel like we'd have to do 2 more divisions, right?
Well, why not? Let's just do 8 more.
8 more teams. I mean,
8 more teams.
If that means more football, then I'm down for it.
Heck, we'll just buy out the USFL.
That sounds good.
Just buy out the USFL, and then that way we'd just take the 8 teams from there.
Yep, love it. You got anything else in this?
I think that's about it.
All right, Rams lose to the Chargers 10-31. Last game, Steelers versus Ravens. This was actually a decent game. It actually wasn't. I'm sorry. This is AFC North football. Mm-hmm. It's AFC North football. They had a couple of good plays. It's just Kenny Pickett had some nice throws.
He did.
It was actually nice for the Steelers to see, especially going into the next year. He had a one throw on the run to Najee Harris in the end zone. I don't know if you saw that.
Yep.
On the run, dart right in his fucking breadbasket.
I think Mike Tomlin's another coach that's priming his team up for next year.
Really? Because if you talk to anyone in Pittsburgh, they think that, he's just not a good coach.
Dude, he's just had a lot he has to deal with. Mitchell Trubisky's he's a certified backup, and then he had to bring Pickett along, which
I think he did that to himself. He shouldn't have brought in Trubisky.
He shouldn't have, but yeah, that's just neither here nor there.
I think he kind of fucked himself by bringing in Trubisky, and I just know because I spent quite a few years near Pittsburgh. I know what some of the people are saying. They don't think he's a good coach. I think he was riding along the coattails of Big Ben Roethlisberger, and he just was kind of doing his thing with him. And now that Big Ben's gone, it's he's kind of getting exposed. Now that's just what I'm hearing. I like Mike Tomlin personally. Mm-hmm. I think he is a good coach. I think he's more of a good player manager type of person. I think he does very, very well with the head cases that he has to deal with.
Yeah.
So, I obviously there's more to it than just that for head coach in the NFL, but I don't know. They looked pretty good yesterday. Granted, they were going against Tyler Huntley, so you got to take that with a grain of salt, but Kenny Pickett looked good. He looked pretty good.
Yeah, and then also, if you just get a full season with T.J. Watt, healthy, and then the offense, they go through the offseason, go through training camps as Pickett number 1. And then you got Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, who had a sick catch.
Oh, he had such a good catch. He's so athletic, man. The way he can contort his body to get to any ball is absolutely wild.
He could possibly be top 10, definitely top 10, maybe top 5 receiver next year. That's what I'm saying.
He has the potential to. He has the talent to do that. It's just, is Kenny Pickett going to be able to get him the ball?
They got Pat Freiermuth, he's a solid tight end. Najee Harris, I know he's had his ups and downs and stuff, but he's a serviceable back. I think if you have a good, legit passing game that develops, I don't know. I like I said, I think this is another team that's priming. The Lions, Jaguars, Steelers.
So they're priming their engine. They're starting about to rev up for next year.
And they're gonna go vroom vroom.
Vroom vroom. Love it. Do you got anything else in this one?
That's about it. But the Steelers are still alive.
No, I was about to say they need Miami to lose, and they need to win. That's it. And then they're in. So, hey, we'll see. I love it. Ha, 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 staying alive. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Y'all have a good one. Love y'all.
Later.